We got a special show for you guys today. I know you guys have been waiting, but this is going to be a classic. Trendsetters!
Money good. You know how to take it. You don't keep putting pressure on these niggas. Don't keep running this shit up. Don't keep getting money. Don't keep making these niggas.
First nigga with the hatchback. I'm a trendsetter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trendsetter TV 84, also known as Soul TV 84. We have two special guests on, as you guys know. First, let me go to my co-hosts here today, the distinguished man. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let the audience know who you are, bro.
Yes, hello. My name is the Distinguished Man. I am a certified cryptocurrency expert, also a certified blockchain expert. I'm also in the process of receiving my certification to become a blockchain developer as well as a smart contract developer. And you may have also seen me on a show called Red Sings the Blues. I am a co-host with a good friend of mine, man behind the mic. So be sure to check it out, guys.
All right. And then today's special guest is right below me, or I don't know, right there. Go ahead, special guest, introduce yourself. Let the audience know who you are, man.
What's good, y'all? My name is Elijah Maktub. I'm glad to be here. Thank y'all for the invite. So I'm Elijah. I'm a college student. I'm around 20 years old, and I am just an engineer as well. I'm currently working as a product manager as well in the tech industry. Just very enthusiastic about cryptocurrency and blockchain. I'm very excited about the wave and the amount of technology and changes and impact in the economy that this can have, not just in the United States, but just globally as well. Especially when you look at economies that are in the third world countries. Those economies have a lot of benefit to make from this, especially because it changes the way we can, exchange value in the world. So it's very huge. I see it like the internet. The internet brought a way for us to exchange information. This takes it a step further. It allows us to exchange value. So I'm excited to talk about cryptocurrency today.
Awesome. And before we begin the show, hold on a second. I just want to read some super chats here real quick. Shout out to Ricky Webster with the $4.99. He says, just showing love. Props due 100. Hey, salute to you, because Atlanta, guys, listen, Atlanta ran me dry. I went over budget in ATL. Okay. Shout out to Batman Beyond 6'4" Mont. What's going on, Batman? He says, salute to Solo and the rest of the great gentlemen on this panel. The stream is wisdom that brothers shouldn't be missing. Exactly. So, Elijah, and I'm going to post your YouTube channel in the chat, so obviously we can have people follow you. But can you talk about how, because, bro, you were young, right? I mean, I didn't even know what you looked like until recently, one of your thumbnails. But how old were you when you got into crypto? And how did you, I know you said you're going to school to be an engineer. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
You're not a dummy. And I mean, I've seen your videos and you know what you're talking about. That's why you're here. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. But tell the audience a little bit about your history regarding cryptocurrency and blockchain.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I was in high school when I first found out about cryptocurrency. This was right around 2017. I had a friend, actually. He's a guru. This guy works at Coinbase now. Super amazing guy. So he was in high school with me as well. And he would talk about cryptocurrency. He was selling he was using cryptocurrency as a currency, like the typical way it was meant to be used, not really as a asset and store value. Like the original idea was we can have our own economy and trade with each other. So that's what he was doing back in 2014, 15, 16. He bought a pair of shoes for like 7 Bitcoin. We still make fun of him for that. And basically in 2017,
wait, he did what?
He bought a pair of shoes. And he really used them too. Like these shoes were so beat up by the time we graduated high school for like
how many Bitcoins?
Right around 7 Bitcoin. It was like back then, Bitcoin wasn't worth a lot, right? And we didn't really know Bitcoin was going to go this far, honestly speaking. Like no one really saw it coming. I mean, yes, it has the value it has today, and we kind of see the technology growing, the utility growing, not even just from Bitcoin, but from other cryptocurrencies, right? So back in 2017, this is when it hit my radar. He was like using this and I was like, oh, okay, this seems really cool. And then Bitcoin was hitting the news a lot. It was becoming more mainstream, more of a, more eyes were on Bitcoin and, not just the technology, but also the price and the number and the value that it had. So right when it hit that, I started actually getting into the market, trading a little bit. I was very naive back then. I didn't really understand it. And I still really don't fully understand it either. I don't think anybody really does. If anyone says they fully understand it, they are lying, because it's like 2000 and the internet, no one really knows where it's going. And I think the technology really, it's not quite there yet in terms of adoption and people using it, but I think it's getting there, because decentralized finance is getting huge now. Utility is actually coming into the market. People are able to lend. You're able to buy property now through NFTs. Like, things are getting, becoming easier for people to actually adopt it and use it in everyday life, not just like invest in it and like, I'm just going to leave my money in like Bitcoin, like it actually has use cases. You can get a credit card now that's like backed by Bitcoin, and you can, things like that. So going back to 2018, I kind of like started seeing that, not as much as I see now, but I dabbled in it a little bit and then invested some here and there, kind of walked away a little bit. And then I would say early 2020, this was like before the Bitcoin halving. Like, I was aware of Bitcoin halving and the impact it had in the market. I was telling my friends like, hey, this is going to be like, it's going to be crazy. And this was just for me, just like looking at what people were saying online as well, and like doing my own research. And Bitcoin halving is huge. Like, it's, it's deflationary in the sense, like it's something that's already scarce is getting even more scarce, and the value's there. So it makes more sense that you got to hold something like that. So from there, 2020 was when I actually really got, early 2020 is when I really got actually serious about, okay, this is what I see, and I actually see value in this market. So I would say it's been like a up down, but originally my guy was the one that really got me into it, and I'm glad I actually was willing to listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, let's swing it over to you, distinguished man, because like I said, you are the TA guy here, the blockchain guy. What are we? And if you want to share your screen, that's cool. But what is going on right now with the market? There's a lot of sideways action. It seems like it's not really going anywhere. What are you seeing from your bird's eye view?
Well, from my view, I'm seeing in the beginning, there was a lot of manipulation over. If I could possibly share my screen here, if I can, let me see if that works. Can you see it? Okay.
Got it.
So this is the complete yearly chart, or not yearly. This is the full chart, I guess you could say, of Bitcoin BTC right here. And we could see that during May 1st or later in a little bit, it was starting to really go up, what we would call probably parabolic. And right then and there, we saw a downtrend immediately when it peaked at about, I think, 60 something K. And the reason for that was because of market manipulation. And I believe that is because of these governments, or these, I call them wicked powers at B, because they realize that this technology is growing, and they realize that this is going to be the foundation as, a store of value moving forward. Now, they wanted to bring it on a downtrend because, Solo, we've talked about this behind the scenes, and we noticed that it was a manipulated downtrend. Now, if I could possibly shrink it, let's see. Yeah. So over here to the right, we can see this is where the huge drop off is, right? This is where the market manipulation, where they dropped it down all the way to about 30, I want to say 32. And now we see a lot of sideways action. And to me, I wouldn't say that we're in a complete bear market. I'd like to say that we're in a manipulated downtrend going to a sideways consolidation period.
Wait. He's spreading hopium, guys. He's on hopium. He's on hopium. He's definitely not in a bear market. Wait, what do you call this? No, I'm joking. Go ahead, bro. Elijah, one thing about me is I like I said, I'm the comic relief here. So hard.
But no, we see a lot of sideways action here. And the reason why I say it was a manipulated downtrend is because look at this huge steep off here, guys. This happened when? From May May 1st to probably June 1st, right? That's 1 month. But now I want to look, I guess you could say from here, from January 1st, it took a gradual turn to go all the way up to 63K. So that's gradual growth. But
If
the
you go,
problem is
yeah,
right here.
if you go up to like the point where it drops off, I think that's May 12th. The first one, right? Yeah, that one
Right there.
on May 12th. I think
Yeah.
that was like right around the day Elon Musk talked about Tesla dropping the purchase in Bitcoin or Teslas through Bitcoin. That was like one of the first things, and then China ban news came after that. Like,
Exactly.
you're right. Like manipulation is like huge.
And that's what we would call in this area called FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They were spreading fear. That's what they were doing. And obviously, I think we had a lot of whales probably sold off here as well to collect their profits, which is fine because that's, market. That's how things usually work. It goes through cycles. But that manipulation definitely was a huge problem, and that caused it to go down. And right now we're having sideways action, and that's mainly from, I want to say, the hodlers or the people who want to stick around and didn't run away. But, if we could possibly go to 30 days right here, we see a lot of sideways action, goes up, goes down, goes up. But right here at the end, right, I think that we might be going below 30K. I think that we may be, because as you can see, it seems to go down, it goes up a little bit, but it's starting to creep down a little bit more. And from what I can see is that I think that I think that these financial institutions wanted to go below 30K so that they can finally get their hands on it.
Yep.
And that's when we're going to really start to see a run up again. We may.
Elijah, let's swing it to you. What do you see? Do you agree with the distinguished man or disagree? And it's okay. We do welcome disagreement, so don't feel like you have to agree with everything we say.
Right. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah. One thing I want to point out that I agree with for sure, 100%, is currently like we're trending downwards, sideways, and I do think Bitcoin is going to break the 30,000 threshold, and I think that's going to push it close to the 25,000. Like it's going to be a stretch, maybe to 20,000. I think that's possibly not going to happen, but it's a possibility as well. But I think it's possible that we see 25,000 in the next month or so. And this is just opinions. It's not facts at all. This is just what I think. And I think also adding to that point, since that we are going to be going sideways for a while, a lot of these ETFs, like distinguished man was saying, they're trying to, or a lot of like big money, they're trying to enter the market. And one way they're trying to do that is through ETFs. So currently right now, there are no ETFs in the market for Bitcoin in the United States. There is one in Canada. So ETFs is like, it's big money. It's investors that have $1 million, $1 billion that don't go out and invest, like the typical investor through Robinhood. Like you're not going to see a billionaire opening a Robinhood account trying to buy Bitcoin through Robinhood. Like they're going through like big banks and they're putting their money with the big banks, and they expect the big banks to bring big profits to them and then return that. So when I think there a lot of manipulation maybe is setting the stage up for these ETFs to come into the game and buy at a price that makes sense for them. And I think that 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 mark makes a lot of sense for them, because that's a 50% correction from the 65 that we were just talking about. So I do agree that we're right now sitting in that sideways like limbo area. And I think this is actually a really great position for the market, because one thing it proved to me was the market in terms of like, yes, there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt or doubt, but it proved to me that there is a concrete foundation in the market. Like, yes, people are going to run, but it seems like a lot of people now understand it more than they did before, or at least the value of cryptocurrency more than they did before. I don't think it's going to ever really go back to the point of where it was in 2017. It could happen, but I don't really see it being the case. I think the market is more mature than it was back then. So I think this year is going to be one of the craziest year for cryptocurrency still. It looks like it's going sideways. And I think the distinguished man was talking about patterns earlier. So we've seen this pattern in 2013, 2017 as well. And I think 2021 is not going to be any different because it's all related to Bitcoin halving and what that does to the deflationary aspect of what's the coins that are available.
Okay. So so let me ask you this. So you guys think we're going to go even further down to about 20,000 from what I'm hearing?
20 might be a stretch. 25 is a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So Elijah, are you
Exactly.
bearish then for the short term, or are you bullish? I mean, because it sounds bearish to me.
So this, I'm going to show you. This is something I wrote for myself, and I know it's
Hold on, let me zoom in now so they can see the chicken scratch. Here we go. One second.
Okay.
There we go.
My handwriting kind of sucks, but yeah, this is a chart I made, or a list I made for myself when I saw what was going on, and this is like corrections that I think is going to happen. So the top, I believe, is 60% correction from the all-time high, which is like 65,000, and then the bottom one, 20,000, is a 70% correction. Something similar with Ethereum. Those are the two I keep track of the most because they mostly run the market. The first one is I think 70 or 60, 70, 80% correction. So I do think we're in a bear market, but I also think that's the best opportunity in any market is a bear market, because if you're chasing something when it's hot, chances are like, it's not going to be panning out. But if you're going after something when you see value in it, when there isn't a lot of hype behind it, it's a calmer scenario. You're not chasing news. It's more like, okay, let me sit down and actually absorb content. Let me like understand the fundamentals behind this and actually invest in a controlled environment. Because right now it's controlled. It's more controlled. Like you're able to actually make decisions without the coins going crazy up 20%. And then you feel like, oh, I'm going to miss out if I don't invest my money in it. Right now it's like, it's going sideways. It's like more controlled, a little bit better for you to, enter the market in little ways. So I do think it's a bear market, but I also think it's a good place to be an investor right now as well.
Okay. Well, this is what I think. And once again, obviously, guys, this is not financial advice. And if you want to learn more about crypto, moderators, please post my beginner's course in the chat. Thank you. But I think that, we are in a bear trap, so to speak, right? So basically, what I'm thinking is the reason why is there's been so much manipulation, especially with China saying, oh, well, Bitcoin is banned. Well, yeah, Bitcoin's been banned in China since 2013. So they're bringing up old news. And now China's talking about mining being banned, right? I think that China has a huge role in this manipulation. And once again, this is my opinion, because of the fact that they have their digital yuan, whatever they call it, that they're trying to push. And I read an article where basically, I think the Chinese Olympics are going to be Winter Olympics are happening next year. And they're going to give everybody like 50 digital wands. You know what I mean? So I think that China, here's the thing. China wants to dethrone the dollar, right? Yep. And if China can get the digital yuan to be used worldwide, he who controls the world currency controls what? They control basically the world economy, so to speak, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Now, another thing is, what I'm looking at is, Elijah, in one of your videos, you showed that chart, where it showed the 2017 run. And then when you look at how it compares to 2021, it's very similar, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. And this is something that I've seen before as well from other TA guys that I deal with. And I really think that what they're trying to do, just to keep it very simple, is they're trying to shake out weak hands so that way they can scoop it up at a lower price, and then they're going to run it up. Now, obviously, guys, you guys know me. My prediction earlier for Bitcoin was 220,000. And you know what, Elijah, I'm not going to lie. At first, it was 150. But I was dating a girl at the time who was in crypto. Listen, I'm not going to lie. And she's been in crypto since 2012, right? And she's like, what are you talking about? It's going to go to 220, 200. And so the hopium, she got me on it, right? But I think that, I'm going to give my prediction now, or my readjusted prediction. I think we're gonna see it go to about 110 or about 100, and then you're gonna see. Well, before we even get to 100, you're gonna see a lot of resistance at about 80 to 90,000, and then when we make it to 100, you're gonna see a lot of settling off, and then we might run it up to 110, and then you'll see it correct, right? But that's my opinion. And once again, guys, do your own research regarding this market, right? One thing, Elijah, that I don't think anybody saw coming, these experts, is the whole meme coin run that we had earlier this year, right? In the spring. Let's talk about that for a second, because I know somebody brought up Shiba Inu. Batman says, y'all buying Shiba Inu coins, gentlemen?
No hate.
Huh?
No hate towards the meme coins. No hate, but
well, if you don't like them, that's fine. Because me personally, the way I look at meme coins is I've always go by tokenomics, but because I saw how Dogecoin took off, there's something that I realized that I didn't see in the 2017 bull run. Right, is that you have more of the youth in, right, Elijah, more of your type, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but more Generation Z buying crypto, where 4 years ago, I mean, it was more of a retail market, and now you have more of a retail and institutional market. But Elijah, talk about that. What are your thoughts on Dogecoin, the meme coin wave? Do you think that meme coins are dead? Do you think they're going to run up again? And then when Elijah is done, distinguished man, I want you to take it from there. So if you want to write some notes to rebut or agree with, that's fine. Go ahead, Elijah.
Okay, first thing, I think they're here to stay. First thing first, meme coins are a huge part of the foundation of cryptocurrency. I mean, something that started off as a joke, it has become a huge wave in the market. I don't think it necessarily takes anything away from the market. I think it if anything, it adds more value to the market. Yes, it's doesn't really have the crazy, Dogecoin doesn't have the utility factor that Ethereum, for example, may have. But it's not meant to be like that, right? I think one thing that's a problem is the way we look at these cryptocurrencies in a sense. I think we put them too closely in too close of a bucket because we don't fully understand what they are. But I think Bitcoin, Ethereum are completely different. We classify them as blockchain because they are blockchain technology and they work in similar fashions, but they're completely different. So Dogecoin is meant to be like a currency. Ethereum is meant to be a platform or economy where applications are meant to be built on top of. Bitcoin is meant to be more of a store of value where it's slow moving asset, high transaction fee, high or low speed of transaction as well. So it's slow moving, where Dogecoin or Solana, for example, is, super high, fast movement. So Dogecoin here to stay. I think Shiba Inu, I'm not too familiar with Shiba Inu. I don't know. It's like the younger brother of Dogecoin, I think. But I think Dogecoin definitely is going to be here for a long time because it does have that, I want to hype in a sense, but also it brings a lot of people to believe into something. I think they have a pretty strong community as well. I think that's something that's important. It's kind of cultish, but it does.
Wait. Cryptocurrency in general is cultish. Have you ever seen the XRP Reddit?
XRP is, I think, one of the worst cults, or not worse in terms of bad people, but I think they're very cultish, very, very cultish. XRP for sure. And I don't follow too many cryptocurrencies. I look at the macro, and there are a few handful of coins that I pay attention to because of maybe utility. But outside of that, I don't know too much about XRP or even Shiba Inu. But I love what they're doing, though. I think it brings more value to the market if there is more adoption. It brings more people to see it. The network effect grows. It's a win-win for the entire cryptocurrency market.
Yeah, distinguished man, go ahead if you want to, if you want to add to that or rebut that or what have you. Go ahead, bro.
I would honestly say that I concur with the young gentleman Elijah, because I believe that meme coins are here to stay. And the one thing that the gentleman said was about the hype or the community. And I think that we need to stop calling these coins meme coins. I think we need to call them community coins, because a lot of these coins are driven up by the community. I mean, as you said before, XRP is, cultish, but if you go on Telegram, there's so many of these meme coins coming out, and we see these groups coming together, talking, shilling, which is sharing, and they're promoting these
Oh,
coins to community.
At an all-time high, bro.
Exactly.
Like when you walk down the Vegas Strip, and these escorts are trying to. Anyway, this is about to go left. I'm sorry, distinguished man. I don't know. I mean, allegedly. Go ahead. It's on you, bro.
Oh well, hey, you never know, man. She might offer her services for some Shiba Inu. You never know. But nevertheless, right? What I'm trying to say is that these coins are community driven, so as the young man said, it's great for the ecosystem because it allows people to come in, it allows mass adoption, and it also makes it easier. And I like this generation of cryptocurrency because obviously, as we said before, Bitcoin was a store of value, was used to kind of purchase or do things with it. Ethereum was a platform for smart contracts. We had XRP, which was meant to be through centralized nature, but also with the XLM, which is another high throughput coin or token as well. So definitely I can say that this generation of these cryptos is going to be great because it's allowing mass adoption to occur so easily. I mean, Solo, we were talking about this earlier with such platforms like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Shiba Swap. They are allowing you to get these coins so much quicker and faster. And Solo, should we tell them about Baby Doge?
Oh, come on.
Should we tell
Go ahead. I mean, you bullish on it. Go ahead, bro. I'm not gonna stop you. I mean,
Baby Doge is
let me grab a pillow because he's gonna go on a 30-minute analytical rant on this. Elijah, you might want to grab a water. Go ahead. I'm just joking. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, Baby Doge, it's a self-yielding coin, so you can receive distribution of coins back to your wallet just by holding it. And that to me is great because it's incentivizing you to hold the token, which inevitably is going to drive the price up. And those also who sell it, which is the one thing I love about these coins, because there's a transaction fee or a tax on them, right? So you can't day trade with these coins because whenever you buy or sell, you're taxed. And when you buy it, what you are taxed is going to be redistributed back to the holders. So it incentivizes you to hold it. And the fact that these transactions occur just off of buy, selling, or transferring your tokens or your coins, it brings a new element. It brings a whole new way of thinking when it comes to these new coins. And the fact that it's so easy for you to get them is just blowing my mind at how these coins are growing, how fast they're developing. And I think that this is really great for this whole industry because it's going to allow more people to get in. It's going to make it ease of access, but also you can make a pretty penny because, the price can go up at really any moment because with the shilling, as Solo said, the people are becoming aware of these coins at such a faster rate.
Yeah.
Okay, and Elijah, I want to apologize. I misspelled your name on the stream, so we'll get that corrected. Here are my quick thoughts. I think that Shiba Inu specifically, because I've talked about it a bit on my channel since for transparency, I am invested in it, right? And I'm not saying that you have to be. It's not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. But Shiba Inu is a DeFi coin disguised as a meme coin. The Shiba Swap has broken numerous records. It was at 1.5 billion in regards to the liquidity. I mean, ridiculous, right? And I think that with something that Elijah, you said, and also Distinguished Man said, is the reason why you see all this community-driven coins that are being propped up is because people are tired of these institutions locking people out. I mean, you saw what happened earlier this year with GameStop, right? With AMC, right? And that's on the stock end. And then you saw what happened with Doge, right? Even though, in my opinion, you can't compare Shiba and Doge, because Doge really, they don't even have any, there's no updates or anything. Nobody was even working on it. Matter of fact, last time I heard, it was Litecoin miners that were mining Doge, right? And so the reality is that Shiba Inu, what they did, in my opinion, was great marketing, and they took a big risk with sending, half of it to Vitalik, and then when they came out with the swap, that's a game changer. And of course, they've been listed on Coinbase. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, "How come VeChain isn't on Coinbase yet?" Or it took them damn near 3 years to get ADA on Coinbase. Why aren't some other coins that have been around a little bit longer or proven more utility in people's opinion been on Coinbase? But I think that Coinbase, let's be honest, and I've said this before, they're kicking themselves in the foot because they missed out on the Doge run, right? Robinhood was making buku dollars. I think that, was Doge also on Weibo? I'm not sure. But
it might have been.
So I think that with the meme coins, I think that some of them are going to be around. I think Shiba Inu might be around 5 years, 10 years from now, because the community is super bullish. However, there's some meme coins that I'm not sure yet. Only time will tell, because in 2017, I saw other coins that I thought would be around, and those coins are dead, and I lost a bunch of money in it. I'm not going to lie. You guys already know some of these coins that I've talked about. So I think that at the end of the day, you got to do your research. I always emphasize that. And, don't put in more than you're willing to lose. My motto, dollar cost averaging, put in your lunch money. That's what I do. That's not what you have to do or should do. You do what's good for you, right? Let me read this real quick. Shout out to Six Sounds. He says, thoughts on gaming and music NFTs. Yeah, let's talk about that, Elijah. So, NFTs are the wave right now, right? And to me, NFTs are kind of like the new ICOs in a sense, because in 2017, and I'm not saying they're the same, but ICOs was like the wave, right? In 2017. Now ICOs obviously are not around anymore. But what are your thoughts on gaming and music NFTs? The NFT market has become really huge.
Yeah, I think NFTs are going to be huge. I think socially, it has a lot of value. NFTs is, music, gaming, art, whatever the case may be. Those are things that we value as human beings, regardless. These are things that we love. Like, you're on your phone, you're listening to music, you're watching a video, things like that. Like, those are in the realm of the NFT world, right? So I think overall NFTs are just going to be super, super impactful in that sense. I've seen a lot of different creators now entering that space, trying to, even I think Fortnite, I'm not sure how far they're into it, but, like skins, collectibles, like things like that. People love to have collectible items. And that's like in the realm of NFTs, people love to have the, the stance or the power or whatever the case may be to say that I am the only individual in this world that owns this item. It's like art. Like, if you own the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they sell like an invisible NFT for like 60,000 or something ridiculous thing like that?
I would not be surprised. They burnt a Banksy.
Guys, listen, not to cut you off, Elijah. I'm sorry, I'm bad at that. But listen, guys, I'm gonna be coming out with my Pog NFT. Okay. For all you guys who want a Pog, holler at me. It's coming out soon. Give me a month. It's coming out. Okay, Elijah, continue. My bad.
Nah, yeah, for real though. I feel like you should definitely get into the game of NFTs. Like, it's a way for you to bring value to your audience as well. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gary Vee and what he did with NFTs very recently. He basically like created something called VCon, where he's selling these little items or, NFTs, like cards. And with each card, you have, the ability to do things with Gary Vee, to go to his conference, to, get on a phone call with him, little things like that. So it's like the coin itself only has the value that is represented to the other people that like recognize it in a sense. And in the world we are in now, there are ways to set up, things like that. And I'm not too familiar into like the gaming and music, but one thing I can talk about is real estate, because I saw something in that space. Like, you're able to buy a property, right? A piece of a property and own part of it through NFTs, because NFTs, it's basically a piece of a contract that signifies that you own this thing, right? It's IBM right now is also working on putting their patents into NFTs. That's huge. Like, intellectual knowledge is, it's one of the biggest things in the world, like Nike's intellectual knowledge, or Apple, like Apple. If Apple were to ever say, we're going to make our patents of our phones or whatever the case may be into NFTs, this will like blow the market away. Like, that's something that is going to come down the line as technology continues to evolve and things like that, right? So I think NFTs are going to be huge. I think we're barely even scratching the surface of use case when it comes to NFTs as well. I think gaming, music, real estate, anything that's tangible in this world, you can imagine it being in a digital world as well.
Yeah. And I don't really have much to say about NFTs, the distinguished man, because I still got to do my research. But I do think that one thing is, people got to realize why rich people like to buy a lot of art and why NFT constitute as that? It's because they're a tax write-off. So that's why you hear these rich people buy NFTs, for ridiculous amounts, because they can write off their taxes. The distinguished man, what's your take on gaming and music NFTs? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that it's a great innovation, and NFTs to me, non-fungible tokens is what the acronym stands for, and to me, when I hear that, it means to me like it's non-disagreeable, like kind of like it's like you cannot say that there isn't one of this. Like, you can say that this one token has a exorbitant amount of value because it's the only one of its kind. So it's non-fungible. You can't say that there isn't another one of it. And I related back to kind of like old school baseball cards. People used to trade those and they could sell them for how much ever they wanted. They could take it to a pawn shop and you could put an offer on it. Now, with this being the case, with being on the blockchain and these tokens, and you putting anything inside of it, any information, just like Elijah said, it could be a piece of art, it could be a music, it could be it could be land, it could be a deed or a title, something on the blockchain to say that.
Wait, distinguished man, you already know, or it could be a pod.
That's true. Now,
Elijah's probably thinking, what the hell did I get myself into?
That's funny as hell.
Go ahead, distinguished man. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, that's all good. And the main thing to me is that these tokens, right, they're gonna be around for a long time. And I think that they've already kind of had the emphasis of being here with, again, when I take the reference back to baseball cards, in a sense, it's that you can have only one of these out here. And speaking of Pogs, there's a coin out there called Pog Coin, right? And they have an NFT that basically it's like this, right? I think they had an NFT of Lana Rhodes, and it was an NFT of Lana Rhodes doing a silhouette, or she was doing a thing, right? But it was like a GIF, a GIF, right?
Distinguished man, you know a lot about this. Hey,
man, I'm in the Telegram group. I'm in the Telegram. This is research. This is my profession, man. This is research. I'm just saying, hey, it's not a problem if I like it too, right? I mean, damn, I am a man. I like to see some ass. I'm just saying.
Brother, stick to the topic.
Hey, you the one that brought up Pogs.
Anyway, so you're talking about Lana Rhodes' silhouette? Okay.
Yeah, so all right. So it's like a GIF, a GIF, right? So let's say you were to possess this GIF, you could sell it to somebody for a certain amount of tokens. and they could trade it, kind of like how baseball cards were. You could trade and do whatever you want with them. So I think that the idea of it has already been here, but it has now come into the digital realm. And talking about gaming in a sense, Solo, I was telling you about a coin called Rich City Coin, where they're creating a game, and the tokens or the coins that you hold out here in the real world, you can connect your wallet to the game. And inside the game, you can use your actual currency and you can buy NFTs in the game. And it's kind of like a simulated world where like you can communicate with other people inside the game. You know, people in the real world, and they come in, they log in, and you can trade NFTs inside the game for the amount of, like, you know, coins that you have in the real world. It's actually pretty dope. It's called a Rich City Coin, if you guys want to check it out. But hey, this is what I do for a living. This is my research. So
not financial advice. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yep. This is not financial advice. But if you are interested in the project, it's called Rich City Coin. So check it out.
That's pretty cool. I've seen something kind of similar, but like not quite the same, but it's like in soccer. I forget the name of the actual NFT platform, but you can basically open, like, you know, like FIFA, open like packs of like, and you get players, and you can bid on the players, and like trade player cards and get rare cards, things like that. And like people love, like everyone loves that. Like I would even get into that at some point. Like, you know, get a Mbappe card or Ronaldo card that's like super rare and no one else can have it in the world. Like that's crazy. And like you were saying with the baseball cards, like it's huge. Like it's already existed. Like this market is already here. And the crazy thing is the baseball cards and those collectibles are actually even getting more popular now. Like people that love collecting sneakers and other things like that, they're starting to move into that market. And that market is growing like into like billions and billions of dollars, even like projected in the future as well. So
yeah,
get into the digital world, a fast moving asset, you're able to, you know, trade not just with your friend on the block anymore. You're now able to trade with someone in freaking Nigeria or someone in, you know, China or someone in anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
It's like access is going to be quick, and you're going to be able to move these things really quickly. So
it's completely decentralized. Yeah.
And you know, the NBA, they're using Top Shot already, where they're selling highlight clips and certain things like that. So it's already has usage. And so I think that NFTs also with tickets, right? You can buy tickets as well. So I think NFTs is already showing that, hey, this is how blockchain can change the world, right? Mm-hmm. This is a great example of that. And I had a young lady, well, she wasn't that young. I hope she's not watching. You're not old, but you definitely are not young. Well, you're not younger than me. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, you have she's an artist, and she was trying to ask me about NFTs, and I'm like, you know, if I don't know a topic, Elijah, I'm not gonna lie, and you know, some of these guys, they talk about stuff they don't know about, right? I mean, that's definitely something that I am currently researching. But from the little bit that I do know about NFTs, the fact that it's already showing a usage case and adoption, right? That is a very good sign, and I'm very excited to see where that goes, because you guys already know. I'm not going to put the pogs up again, but you guys already know I might get into that space too. You know, have my own little trendsetter NFT collectibles, a Soul TV NFTs. I think that would be dope. Shout out to David McFarland. He says, "Great guest today. Keep up the good work, Solo. Thank you. Please hit the like button, guys. You know, I'm very, very passionate about cryptocurrency. I was telling the distinguished man how, you know, I wake up at 5:30. The first thing I do is, you know, I watch Modern Investor. I check the market. Nowadays, I'm not even gonna lie, Elijah. As soon as I see it's still at 32, there, I just throw the phone away and you know, go about my day.
It's coming.
It is. And here's the thing, because I get this question a lot, Elijah, right? Now, in one of your videos, when you were showing the charts, and I don't know if you want to do the screen share so that the audience can see what you were talking about in one of your recent videos, where you showed the correlation between the 2017 chart and 2021 chart. But you know, here's the thing, Elijah. As I mentioned before, I'm very bullish and people might think I'm on the hopium. Maybe I am, but the reason I'm very bullish is because of the fact that with this manipulation, what is causes a lot of the sideways action. And once again, this is my opinion, right? I'm not saying this is I'm some sort of a financial advisor, but what I'm saying is that the manipulation has really kept crypto down, because you saw how everything was starting to move up in May, and all of a sudden they just pumped the brakes. Elijah, and I'm not gonna, once again, I mean, this is based off your opinion, so don't feel pressured. But when do you think that there's going to be a run up? Because we know it's going to go back up. Do you see that happening maybe next month with the London hard fork coming out with Ethereum? Do you see it happening at the end of the year? Do you see it happening next year, or do you say, "Hey, Solo, we're going to be in a bear market for a while"? I mean, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, I can actually share my screen as well. So I'm gonna pull this up, because I do want to share something. And like you were saying, I think it's definitely patterns. Am I on the screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go into the actual graph. But one thing I wanted to show first was the stock to flow. So we do know like Bitcoin is in a 4-year pattern. Like it's Bitcoin halving happens every 4 years, and this causes deflation. And then we always see a bear bull run. So this is 2013, 2014. So the end of the cycle was 2014 for the bull run. And as you can see, like it is a logarithmic graph instead of the actual linear graph, because that's just network effect. And when the market grows, it grows in that fashion. So we moved 4 years later. 2018 was actually the end of the cycle. So like closer to January. So like December, January was when the cycle ended, similar to 2013 as well. So I think we are going to definitely see a similar pattern here. Like we're not at the end of the cycle yet. Yes, we are seeing some resistance and pullback, but I think it's still going to manage to see a run up. So going back to the point you made earlier, so I'm going to pull this up. So we're actually going to start back in 2013, 2014. And I love to look at patterns. This is numbers and like patterns is kind of how I follow through with things. And like, when I see a pattern, I like to, understand why it's kind of coming about. So one thing, we can't really go as far back as 2013 here, but one thing you're going to see is it was in a similar bull run, and then it saw a taper off closer to May. And then when you kind of look at it, the bull or the bear kind of sideways movement kind of tapered off closer to July, between July and August. And then when you push a little past that August area, we start to see, sideways-ish, but then it starts to actually run up like closer to the end of the year. And as you know, Bitcoin, when it runs up, it runs up really, really quick. In a matter of a month, 2 months, it's going to explode. That happened here. So if we actually shift this again 4 years later, a similar thing, when Bitcoin halving happened again in 2018, we're going to see a similar pattern here. So as you see here, a similar fashion of a run up, and then we see like a kind of it tapering off. It's going to look kind of similar. So 4,000 towards 3,000 or 3,000-ish. So like it's not as huge of a correction, but it's still, what is that? A 25-ish% correction here. And then we see same thing, September, closer to the end of the year, we see that huge bull run kind of happen. So it's a exact similar pattern closer to the end of the year, after the 4-year cycle, after Bitcoin halving happens. So we're fast forward to 2021. We haven't really seen, it looks a little bit more crazier. And yes, I agree. It does seem like, oh, we might have already hit that bull run that we saw at the end of the year. But it looks crazier because Bitcoin is network effect. The way the market grows, when more people enter it, it's spreading the amount of dollars and value that can enter that market. So it's of course going to be a lot crazier. So this run may look.
Yeah, wait, Elijah, not to cut you off, but I do have to say, I've never heard about a week or 2 week bull run. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
This was like a precursor to what is to come, in my opinion. And I think we're not going to quite see that until the end of the year. And I think one of the big things that is probably going to push that, two things actually. One is going to be the fiscal policies in the U.S. In terms of what happens in the bond market, what happens if Joe Biden decides to print more dollars and send that into the economy. And then the second thing I see happening is ETFs being introduced in the United States. I think pension funds, big money institutions, they're all going to enter the market, and they're going to enter with billions of dollars, and they're going to buy Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, as we can see, the circulating supply is close to 90%. Yes, it's going to
scarcity. Yeah.
it's running out. Like it's like the amount of Bitcoin being mined today is less than is what is being taken off the market and being stored away in cold storage. So like we're actually running out of Bitcoin. Like it's hard to see it because we have Bitcoin, but you can easily buy Bitcoin when you go on Coinbase now. But in 10 years, I don't know, or 5 years even, I don't know. Like it might be one of those scarcity things like gold right now. Like if you want to buy gold, it's pretty difficult to buy gold. You could buy into an ETF, but like actually getting gold, I think the US might have even banned you from being able to buy gold, maybe, or like holding gold or silver. I don't know, one of the two. It could get to that point. But besides that, I don't want to kill everyone's screen with that. Stop sharing screen. There we go. But I think this market is definitely going to be going to have a couple of interesting months to come.
Okay. And distinguished man, let's swing it to you. Now you saw the charts and what Elijah was showing. Do you agree with this analysis or disagree, or what do you when do you think? Wait, and Elijah, you didn't you showed it, but you didn't really answer the question. When if you had to make a guess, are you saying you see the run up happening at the end of the year? Is that what you're saying?
I think October is going to be a big tell of if we're already going in a bull run. I think what's going to tell is when Bitcoin actually is able to manages to break a 40,000 resistance, like maybe 40,000 is like.
I said 41,000 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
because, I like to play it safe, but yeah.
Yeah, that when it breaks 40,000, if you're still thinking Bitcoin is in a bear market, I'm sorry, but you're gonna miss out most likely, Facts. And you're gonna be buying at 60,000 when you wake up this morning.
Facts, and Elijah, I was telling the distinguished man behind the scenes that I got into crypto in 2017, right? And when I saw the run up happening, the FOMO was surreal. And I guess I want to touch on that because I've never seen anything like it before, because all of a sudden I would watch my YouTubers like my mentor, Ian Bellina, for example, shout out to him. He went from having anywhere, he used to have about 300 people in his live streams, right? And we got about 41 now. Shout out to y'all because you guys are the 41 that you smart. But Ian went from like 200 to 300 people to like 3,000 viewers live. Mm. And before we swing it over to the distinguished man, Elijah, what are your thoughts? Because I know you know what I'm talking about, the FOMO, for those who don't know what that means, fear of missing out, where all of a sudden you have all these people coming in. And the reality is that's when, let's be honest, a lot of these scammers are making money because you have a lot of people who don't know what they're doing, who are getting wrecked. And I got wrecked too. I mean, 2017, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I was getting into coins and I wasn't really doing my research on some of them, to be honest. Yeah. I was just going off of, social media hype and speculation. But Elijah, what do you see happening once you see Bitcoin go past that 64K record high? Do you think that the FOMO is going to be crazy?
It's going to be ridiculous. I think when we're getting to that point, I think this market right now, we're sitting at a $1.3 trillion market. And I think this is going to, this bull run may take that closer to maybe 4 or 5 trillion, maybe even more. I think it's going to be super crazy. Like a lot of fear, a lot of people are going to be jumping in because it's going to be a game of patterns. This has happened a couple years ago. Oh, this happened already. Bitcoin just keeps coming back. Bitcoin keeps coming back. And it's like the thing, like what I was saying earlier, network effect. When one person tells your one person who tells the other person, the network just grows and it gets stronger. And that's what's going to continue to happen with Bitcoin. So it's going to be super crazy. And then now with more utility factors coming in, people are going to be, if you're using Coinbase, Coinbase is going to be trying to push you hard to open in a credit card or a debit card with them, to like start actually getting it in your mind every day that Bitcoin exists. Bitcoin exists. You can use Bitcoin. You can spend Bitcoin. You can save Bitcoin. You can, live with Bitcoin. So it's going to be, it's going to be something that's going, I think Bitcoin is going to be huge, 2022 and beyond. Even if the market were to go through it, there you go. You see, you got yours right there. You see, it's going to be huge. Like, I think a lot of people are going to be, they're going to be afraid of missing out on this thing because it's going to be big, and they're going to be, seeing it like it's going to be big.
Okay, you know what, Elijah, you know what's coming, right? That Coinbase card that you just saw, brother. And that's the Coinbase debit card. But I call the Coinbase debit card my Pog card. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, the Pogs love it, player, because you know when they see it come out, they're like, hey.
They know you got that coin. They know you got that Bitcoin money.
Facts. You know what's funny, because there was I probably shouldn't share this publicly. But anyway, let's keep going. Distinguished man, on to you, sir. See, when I put the Pogs up, I lose my mind. See, brothers, a lot of y'all gonna be doing that once y'all get the crypto. But distinguished man, when do you think the run up is going to happen? And is there anything you want to add on to what Elijah said, or rebut or expound on? Go ahead, brother.
Well, I think that definitely he made some great points and valid points that I agree with. And right now, I think that we're gonna see more of a downtrend to around under 30K to 25K. But I do believe that maybe in around September, I think that we are going to see people buy the dip, and they're going to put a lot of money into it to accumulate coins. But the one thing that I do want us to point at is, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in that chart on those, looking at it, we saw a run up starting in like November or October. And the one thing that I like to look at is, I call them RWEs. They're called real world events. And during that time is Q4. And I think that during that time we spend most of our money because it's the holiday season. So I think that you may see a lot more people put more money in during those times because of that one reason, because people have dispensable money. They have money to put it into other things rather than their bills, because you might have holiday bonuses. People may be getting more money during those times. They may have saved money during those times. So we're going to have more retail investors usually come in during those months. But now what I do believe is probably going into January, February 2022, we're going to see these financial institutions finally getting into the mix. Whereas before we only had retail investors, but right now, obviously we're seeing cryptocurrency go more mainstream. Blockchain is becoming adopted more so in companies such as Amazon, Walmart. So we're going to see these financial institutions, or these conglomerates, or head honchos, as I call them, they're going to be coming in and putting their money in, which is really going to make the price go up. So my prediction is we're going to see a run up around the holiday season, but through January, we're going to start to see more, because now the financial, the big money, like Elijah said, we're going to see a lot more of that coming in 2022.
Okay. So distinguished man, you don't see a run up happening in September, October?
I see people buying the dip. So I do think that the price will rise because people are going to be purchasing it. But like I said, Q4, I think that we're going to see a lot more money pile in, which will drive up the price. So it's coming soon. Okay. It is.
All right. Okay, guys. And then my last question for both of you, which I already answered, because, that's what I do on my show. I get it out the way. And by the way, once again, thank you guys for joining us. We got 47 people here. Please hit the like button, guys. Likes help to spread the video with the algorithm. If you want to hit the dislike because you're a fiat a hoarder, go ahead. We don't want you on the channel anyways, so go ahead and hit the dislike. That'll help it as well. Distinguished man, I'm gonna bring it to you, and then we'll bring it to Elijah. Where do you see Bitcoin headed at the end of the year? Price prediction, and of course, we're not going to hold you to that, sir. But yeah,
I definitely see at the beginning of 2022, I see us probably around 50 to 70K, and from there on, sky's the limit.
Okay, that's very conservative. I like that. Do you think possible it might, by the end of the year, we might be at 100 or 80 to 100?
I don't know, Solo. I don't know. That's making me scratch my head because I'm telling you, these guys want the price to go down to 25K, and I don't necessarily see that happening maybe till August. And we're gonna have to have time pass for people to raise the price and accumulate coins. So 100K, I mean, that's being real bullish, which I like the aspiration. I like it, but kind of realistically thinking, I don't think that we could see 100K. That's why I said 50K. So that's just my own opinion.
Okay, fair enough. And like I said, I mean, we don't know, right? Like I said, we just here going off of patterns and what we see and what we think may happen. So it's just an opinion. In my opinion, there is no right or wrong answer. I mean, you could have said it goes to 0, then I would have kicked you off the stream. But anyway, Elijah, it's your time. Hey, like I said, Elijah, we have a fun time here on my crypto stream. This is the most lit crypto channel, period, man, because we have fun.
Yeah, I feel the energy. I feel the energy.
Because you go on some crypto channels and they do the TA, and bro, like, you need like 5 cups of coffee. Like, you're like, okay, but But Elijah, what about you? Where do you see BTC at the end of the year, sir? December 31st.
I'm a little bit more bullish on the markets overall. I think one big reason is network effect is something I see growing stronger. I think when we look at the Bitcoin chart, sometimes when you see how it grows over the course of the years, if you scale it into a logarithmic graph, because it shows really how the network effect can really affect the market. So and I think right now, with everything we were saying, the market foundationally has a stronger ground than it did in the past. There are more people in the market hodling than in the past. So I think if there were to be more accumulation of Bitcoin, I think that craze or that market sentiment is going to be positive enough to really actually send it closer to 100,000, maybe even close to 150 if it's more of institutional investors actually play a part in it as well. But if we're talking just retail investors and positive sentiments, people having more money, the government may be printing more money, it's looking like it might not happen. But if that happens to be the case, it's all a matter of the stars aligning in the perfect ways. But if that happens to be the case, then
did you say the number?
100,000.
100,000. Okay.
100,000. And honestly, earlier a couple months ago, actually, I also still think 200,000 is a possibility. I think a 10x from 25,000 is a possibility. It's more in the wishful thinking realm, but it's also a possibility because we do know this market is unpredictable, irrational, and anything could really come out of it. But I think more in my conservative mind, I think 100,000 is going to be a possibility.
Now, as you guys in the chat know, I'm connected to some big whales. In the last stream, I got a phone call because I was talking too much, okay? I got a phone call. So I was like, okay. So here's what I will say. If you can read between the lines, wink, 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 read between the lines. But this is what I think will happen. As I said, we'll probably go up to about 110. There's going to be a lot of resistance, but you'll see it go up to 110, and then you'll see it just probably dip to about, back to 65 or something like that, right? And that could be in a matter of days or so. Because, like Elijah, you said it earlier, when Bitcoin runs hard, it runs hard fast, right? And when it crashes, it can also crash fast.
Exactly.
We've seen this before. So I think we're going to see that 110. And then y'all cats are going to try to cash out. Y'all even set up your set limits, stop limits, whatever. And then you're going to see it go down because the institutions, they're gonna take out their money first, okay? Over the counter, all of that, That's what I think. I hope I don't get a phone call again for my whale connect. You talk too much. I'm not telling you not no more. But shout out to my connects, man. But once again, not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I think might happen. Wink, wink, cough, cough. But that doesn't mean I'm right, right? Although I have been right about certain things like this before. So wouldn't be the first time, but I've also been wrong. So distinguished man or Elijah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about or expand on? Because those were basically all the questions I basically have for you guys.
There is one more thing. Well, how do you guys feel about the Ethereum flipping? Like the Ethereum is going to take over the market and be the dominant cryptocurrency.
Oh, distinguished man, I'm gonna leave that up. That's what you're here for, brother. Go ahead, distinguished man, break it down, brother. Go ahead.
Well, I do think that Ethereum with this hard fork coming up, we're gonna see a lot more. Definitely people wanting to get into Ethereum because of the gas fees, which are tremendous right now. And in terms of flipping, I mean, we may see Ethereum rise to 10K for sure, but I still think that Bitcoin is going to be the head honcho. I still think that BTC it's always going to be there because it was the first of its kind. But in terms of, if you want to say people and the interest, I can say that yes, Ethereum will take over in that aspect because there's more utility with the smart contracts, building on the platform,
Low gas fees.
Exactly. There's going to be and also transaction time.
Hopefully no gas fees will be in effect by time, because they were supposed to get that London hard fork done last month. And not to cut you off, distinguished man, but when Vitalik and I watched him on a podcast, I forgot which it was, but it was on a big channel, and he said that there's been some issues with the team, not necessarily with the tech, but in regards to agreement. So whenever you have Vitalik coming out and saying like that, it doesn't make me bullish, because if he would say that publicly, that there's some infighting on which direction it should go, that's a very telling sign. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, there is. I honestly could take that both ways. Maybe there is infighting, but I still think that Vitalik is going to be the one to make the decision.
Facts.
And if they did set a deadline, I think that it would be pertinent for them to reach that deadline, because why would they ever set it? And also, you could look at it, maybe they're just trying to be transparent with their audience, to say what's going on instead of keeping people in the dark. So I can definitely say that. But the one thing I definitely will say about Ethereum is that I'm gonna like to see what comes of this hard fork, not only with the low gas fees and the ability for proof of stake, which is going to take away the mining aspect of it and incentivize people to, hold their tokens or, again, stake them. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that that's going to drive the price up as well. So I think that, Ethereum is going to definitely grab a lot of people's eyes after this London hard fork for sure.
I agree. One thing I wanted to do before we actually hop out, because
Elijah, go ahead, man. Take your time, bro. I'm not in a rush, bro.
I'm a big believer in the flipping, and my reason for it is so let's see. Like I saw a comparison, like the oil compared to gold, and like I think this is a good comparison because gold is kind of like a store of value in a similar way we would look at Bitcoin, right? You can hold gold; it has value over time, that kind of thing. And the way I look at Ethereum, because of utility, is oil. You can use oil for a lot of different things that we use every day. It has the utility factor. I mean, it's not quite exactly the same thing, but in a frame set of like comparing it to what already exists in the world, and the oil market is larger than the gold or even any other metal combined, right? Because there is so much utility, and it powers so many different things in the world, that it makes it so big and so useful. So that's kind of the way I see it. Like, Ethereum is going to be so big and so robust, especially in the financial world, that it's going to change a lot about how we use. And this is a long term. This is not a case of like, oh, in 2 years Ethereum is going to be number one, or in 5 years. Like, this is more of like as this market continues to mature over time, Ethereum is going to have a leg up just because of the smart contract ability that it has, and the fact that the ecosystem right now, a lot of developers are on it, building so many different new things that NFTs is possible today because Ethereum was that smart contract that came into the game. Was like, okay, you're able to build on top of this. Decentralized finance came about, lending, all these USD coins, Tether, like the coins are, that are matched to fiat. Like, those things are possible because of Ethereum coming into the game. So I think long term it could happen. And you were talking about proof of stake and staking. One other thing I wanted to pull up here was, currently we have 5.28% of Ethereum stake. As they transition into proof of stake, this is definitely going to grow like over time. So I think this is going to be very huge as well. The more it grows, the more proof of stake is going to be, a stronger way for the network to operate. Like, Solana right now is it's supposed to be Ethereum killer. They have about 70% stake, and that's huge. Like, the more stake, the better. The more foundationally solid that the ecosystem is going to be, because there's more at stake or more people believe in the system, and more people are giving into the system for the system to actually work for itself. I just went into a whole tangent of random stuff, but
No,
I do see the utility there.
Yeah, if I could just.
Yeah, wait. I do have a quick question, follow-up question for Elijah. Do you see that happening within the next 5 to 10 years? The flipping?
5 years possible. I think because 4 years ago, like decentralized finance, NFTs weren't really all that it is now. I think in 5 years from now, there's definitely going to be, I think the technology is definitely going to advance in a fact where there's going to be a lot more use cases, and it's going to be a lot closer to consumers. Like, everyday people are going to be able to actually use these things. And I think that's going to bring a lot more value than just Bitcoin, than Bitcoin could give the market. I think the thing that's actually going to get cryptocurrency to be a real thing is utility. The more people use it, the better, the more the market is trusted, the more the market grows. The more people enter the market, the more the network grows, the more value it has. So I think the utility is what's actually going to build on top of the crypto. Yeah, Bitcoin was the first layer, the foundation. But in order to actually get to the next evolution, the next point, I think we're going to have to go a lot further than Bitcoin can take us. And the internet, Yahoo came before Google, but Google eventually ran up the ranks because they just had more sauce, more utility. It was convenient for people to use, a better user experience, things like that. So I think Bitcoin is always going to be an OG, just like Yahoo. I mean, Yahoo is always an OG. We love Yahoo, and I'm comparing cryptocurrency to internet companies, which is funny, but I kind of look at it kind of like the internet, because it does live digitally. So is it going to happen in 5 years? Maybe. But is it going to happen after 5 years? Definitely. I think definitely. We don't know when, but I think the utility that Ethereum does have is going to push it over the edge for sure.
Okay, distinguished man, I'm sorry I cut you off, but go ahead, brother. It's on you.
No, I really like that comparison that he did. That's pretty ingenious. I like that. And I want us to also look at probably, let's look at energy. When we started out with energy, we started out with coal energy, right? That was like the first utilization of getting power, something coal. Then we went to oil, which Elijah brought out. That's what we transitioned to. So if we could look at like Bitcoin as coal, you know, that was like the first source of energy that we knew of. Then we started to go to oil and gasoline. That could be Ethereum. Now, if I could just piggyback off of that, maybe we could look at the next wave as like renewable energy. It's everything goes in waves and cycles and improving upon previous technologies. Just like how we went from Bitcoin with just being a store of value to smart contracts. Now we have coins like blockchains like ADA, Cardano, Solana. Those are going to be improving upon what Ethereum has done. I mean, with staking alone, I mean, ADA already has staking, and from that chart, we saw that ADA was number one. So we could be seeing maybe in 25 years, maybe Cardano will surpass Ethereum.
Yep.
And really, what I'm trying to say is it's like building off of previous technologies and utilizing, you know, kind of the same end goal. If you can kind of understand, like, you know, getting productivity.
Exactly. I think you hit it the nail right on the head. They're just building layers on top of what's already like existing and like continuing to develop the technology. And that's what makes this entire market so interesting. Like, you know, like in 2013, the utility that we had back then is not the same. Like you couldn't borrow up to $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, you know, 6, 7 years ago. Like now you can lend that, you can borrow that, you can use it to buy stuff, you can buy a real estate property.
And you can take a loan out of it too.
Exactly. Right. Like it's crazy. I think, and especially like as technology grows, it's exponential. So like the use cases we're going to see in 5 years are going to be insane. They're going to be crazy.
And don't forget Polkadot, Chainlink, all those other ones too. They're still there. And who knows, 5 years from now, there might be another coin. I'm not going to put the pogs up that might run all Ethereum, all those out, because the technology's advancing, as we know, at a rapid pace. I mean, guys, you guys don't understand. Like, and Distinguished Man, I don't know how long have you been in crypto, Distinguished Man?
I could say the past. Honestly, I knew about crypto maybe 3 years ago, but I really started to get into it the past couple years. Yeah, okay. and you know, going through my studies and everything.
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is in 2017, right, Elijah, when you look at it, it was a lot more speculative, and now you see all this adoption happening with El Salvador and the NFTs and everything like that. You now are starting to see the usage and adoption. And that's something, anybody who watched my old content, that's something that I would always harp on. Like, I'm looking at coins that have a usage case, partnerships, adoption, right? That's why I'm so bullish on VeChain. I like ADA, and they're starting to do their thing. And the fact that institutions are looking at ADA, and that's one of the reasons why now you're hearing that institutions are looking to get Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA. I love ADA, right? I love Charles Hoskinson because he's very transparent. I mean, if you tweet at him, he'll holler back. And if you add, you know, and he's very, you know, because he's kind of like a teacher, right? And so the thing, what I'm trying to say is that the adoption that's happening every day, there's news coming out. But yet, whenever there's a piece of good news coming out, like with Fidelity, for example, that came out a few days ago, that they're looking to increase their staff by 70% because they have a crypto department. They were trying to increase that. Then you hear a bunch of FUD coming out. Like, the FUD is just surreal. And if you're a noob, you might be discouraged because you're hearing all this FUD, but there's also a lot of good news. And anybody who thinks that cryptocurrency is not going to be around or it's just a fad, as I mentioned to you behind the scenes, Distinguished Man, my cousin in San Diego, he was walking at a beach and he took a picture and showed me in the middle of the beach, there is like a Bitcoin ATM store. Like, you can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other cryptos. Back in 2017, Elijah, you know as well as I do, that was unheard of. I mean, yeah, they had it maybe in Asia or somewhere, but in the middle of the beach in San Diego, that was unheard of.
Nope.
You know, so hold on. We got a super chat. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, because you guys know Your boy was going hard, pogging in Atlanta, so I appreciate that. Taylor Anderson says, "What are your thoughts on Emacs and SHIB?" Well, let me swing this to you, Elijah, since you're the special guest. I know you're not big on SHIB. Maybe you might want to research it because that is the wave. But are you familiar with Emacs?
I'm actually not familiar with Emacs.
Okay.
I can definitely talk about SHIB.
Okay.
I'm not super familiar with it as well, but I think SHIB is also here to stay. Like the one driving factor behind it, in my opinion, is the community, like we were talking about and Distinguished Man was saying as well. The community behind it is powerful. And when it comes to cryptocurrency, the one thing that's important is one they talk about is Metcalfe's law, and that's like the power of network and how the network grows, especially when people are the driving force behind it. And cryptocurrency was meant to be an economy of people, me and you trading with each other in the way that we
Decentralized. Yep.
Exactly. So like it's the purpose is there. Like it serves the purpose. Yeah, it may be a meme coin. It may have just flown off the charts and like gone crazy with price. But the fact that there is a driving community behind it that's willing to consider it an economy, that's what really matters. Like that's what cryptocurrency was built to be in the first place. So is it going to be here a few years down the line? It possibly could. Dogecoin is one that I see is definitely going to be here. I'm not super familiar again with Shiba Inu, but I've been hearing it a lot, and it seems like the community is very strong. So I would say as long as the community is still existing and they're using it in some fashion. I know Dogecoin is on Reddit. You can use it to tip people. I think that's like a use case. It's not crazy, but it's still something that's there. So I think as long as there are use cases where people are actually able to exchange value in some way with it, it's going to remain in the market.
Okay. Distinguished Man, let's bring this question to you. What are your thoughts on Emacs and SHIB?
Well, I think that it's going back to the conversation of community tokens. And, Ethereum Max to me, it's kind of like, again, when we see these coins with all these 7, 8 zeros on them. So, they're kind of starting out, they're one of these, they're these community tokens. And I think that even Ethereum, they coined it like a culture token. What I mean, we know about culture in the Black community, but they're like using it as like their community coin in a sense. So to me, it's kind of like, again, it has the redistribution. It's gonna have the NFT marketplace. It's really what we're seeing with this new wave in this cryptocurrency market. With these coins that are being called meme coins or community coins, where the people are driving up the price. And again, you told something about like, ICOs kind of going non-existent, but I look at this as like the new form of the ICO. They put these out on these decentralized swaps, and then people can go in and they can swap out their BNB or their Ethereum or maybe even Bitcoin, and then they can receive a certain amount of those coins. Even I think some of these coins have pre-sales. So this to me is like the new wave of the ICOs, but it's much more simpler and accessible to any investor. So I think that that's really what this new generation is. And Emacs and Shiba Inu, Baby Doge, Paul Coin, Safe Moon, these are like the new version of the ICOs to me.
Okay. All right. And then before we go to the next question, I guess I should answer as well, but my computer's running a little bit weird, so bear with me. But I want to share my screen here and show you guys something. Bear with me. Okay, so Ethereum Max, I'll be honest, I've heard of it. I'm not super duper familiar with it. I heard Paul Pierce tweet about it. He might have been drunk, so I don't know, because he got fired from ESPN, right? But here's something that I want you guys to see. So this is the EtherScan website, right? This shows you the movements of Ether tokens and whatnot. And right here, this number, right, shows you that 59 trillion, am I right? Yeah, 59 trillion has been staked. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Already on Shiba Swap, right? Now, guys, you know me. I'm very bullish on SHIB. And because of the fact that at first, when I got into SHIB, this is not a secret. This was back in March. Literally, Elijah, I got into SHIB right before it pumped, right? And it blew my mind how fast it ran up. I mean, I'm talking about, my initial investment like went 5x within like a week. Okay, so SHIB, and if you look at the history of SHIB, if you look at the charts, SHIB has a history of when it runs up, it typically runs the same way Doge runs, right? But it runs higher. Okay, and so when you look at it, that 59 billion chips have been staked. That is impressive within such a short time. And then also I want to show you guys this right here. Bear with me. Now, this is the Shiba Swap website here, Elijah. Can you see it? Now, 1.69 billion. And the Shiba Swap has only been out for about, what, a week, distinguished man?
Yeah.
If that, yeah. It hasn't been out long. 1.69 billion. So I'm very, very bullish on Shiba Inu. And as Elijah mentioned, Shiba is a very, bullish community. Their Telegram is active and whatnot. And so is, the Reddit as well. And people say, well, why does that matter? Well, when you saw the Dogecoin run up, how did it happen? It happened because of the youth, Generation Z. I keep bringing that up because of the fact that, Elijah, if any of these crypto gurus, influencers would have said 8 months ago, yeah, Dogecoin is going to be a top 10 coin, that's a lie. Nobody saw that coming, right? And, oh, wait, unmute yourself, Elijah.
No way. No one saw that coming. Top 10. Yeah. It became top 5.
Top 5. Facts. Facts. The point I'm trying to make is that this market is completely different than the 2017 bull run. And that's why, yeah, we can go off patterns. And I think that a lot of people underestimate the patterns. But there's also what I like to call an X factor, right? Distinguished man Elijah. That is, you're always going to have a particular coin or token, something that comes out of nowhere and kind of disrupts the market a bit. And we saw that happening with AMC and GameStop when, the Wall Street boys or whatever, Wall Street bets, whatever they're called, Reddit, they came in there and they made a lick and all those guys on Wall Street were big mad, right?
Ooh, they're so bad. They still got to pay their shorts.
Facts. And yeah, they put some hedge funds out of business. We already know that. And I think that people got to understand that. I think what this, and I'm using a code word because I'm not trying to be, we're not trying to be demonetized here. But when this demic happened, Elijah, right? I think that a lot of people were able to do their due diligence or research on this because a lot of people realize, hey, I don't have a job right now. I'm unemployed. Yeah, people were making a killing on unemployment. But this was real when I have a stripper friend and she says, hey, I've got Dogecoin. What other coin should I get? Because she knows I'm in crypto. Mm-hmm. That's when I realized, oh my gosh, this is what's happening right now because people are realizing that the 9 to 5, nothing is guaranteed anymore, right?
This right here changed everything.
Hold up.
Me online.
Yeah, facts. It did. And so I'm very bullish on Shiba. I think that Shiba is going to shock the world still. It's got a lot of utility. I know that Distinguished Man rocks with Shiba as well as Baby Doge. And I'll let Distinguished Man talk more about Baby Doge here in a moment because I know that's his pet. By the way, talking about Baby Doge, Distinguished Man, real quick, how did that race car driver do, fam? Because you didn't say nothing. If he would have won, I know you would have said something, bro. Like, did he finish?
He did fairly well. He didn't really crash.
Okay.
He had a little scuff, but the race turned out good. But one of the main things that kind of
top 10 or top 5.
I think he finished in the top 15.
Okay.
So he finished fairly well. For their first race.
Okay.
And
What was that,
This
Elijah?
was
Now I'm saying, what type of race was this?
it was NASCAR. They
Oh.
have a NASCAR, yeah. So crazy, basically a month-old coin was able to get a NASCAR driver and a racer. It took Dogecoin, I don't know how long in their existence, maybe a year. And once people started getting into it, it took them a while to get a Doge NASCAR. But the thing that I like about Baby Doge is they're really big about giving donations. So I think that even before the race, they were able to give like $75,000 in donation to I think it's not really like a for kids, but it's like they like have pets. They are like it's mainly focused about them giving donations to help homeless animals, to kind of help them get to shelters. And but like the organization that they gave it to was like they got like they had the NASCAR driver give a check to an organization to help dogs go to like to kids, like kids who are possibly injured or something like that. So it's really a good cause of what they're doing. And the team behind it, the owner of the founder of the coin, Baby Doge, he's very transparent. He's already doxed himself. If you don't know what that means, he gave out his real identity. He made a name, and he made a video saying he's the founder of it. So if he ever tries to rug pull us, people could find his ass and tie him up. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just more it's just more transparency to me. So I like that about him. And the community is very strong. I like it. And but let me not get too far on Baby Doge, but
Yeah.
Shiba
Okay.
swap, Shiba Inu, definitely, as we know, Solo, in the Telegram group, that's the talk of the town.
Mhm.
So with Shiba swap and everything going on, we see so much interaction going on with their platform, and this to me just tells me that this is going to be huge. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but this will be huge. And Shiba Inu, it's Solo, it's not weed. Shiba Inu is there was a
gotta tell
character we
Elijah
knew.
because he doesn't know that inside joke. Go ahead and tell him.
No, there was a character that we knew, and Solo asked him, "Do you know what Shiba Inu is?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I smoked that last night."
That's
And we were like, "Nah, man, you don't know." But
Elijah, this is why I do my crypto streams different because I'm trying to educate the people. Shiba Inu is not.
not that loud pack, y'all.
Nah, it's not that gas, guys. It's nice. Even though it might cost you a lot of gas to get it, but Shiba Inu, I think that is gonna be a top community coin moving forward. I think that a lot of people are interested in it, and with Shiba Swap, there's opportunity to earn rewards and also earn ether. You can earn Ethereum with it. You can earn more tokens with it. You can earn more Shiba. So it's definitely a good project, and I honestly have high hopes for it. I hope it's successful, and I hope that the community can keep driving it forward. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I apologize. I had my neighbor cussing me out. I cussed back at him. Negroes are going Negro, right? Ridiculous.
Let them know what's up.
Back on topic. Ethereum Max, I'm not very familiar with it. I would probably have to do my research on it before I would talk about that. So I'm not really going to address Ethereum Max today because I'm not very familiar with it. However, we do have another question, and that was by Tim M. He says, love the chat. Man, quick question. What do you guys think of EGLD? I think that's Elrond. Is that right? If I'm not mistaken. Distinguished man, are you familiar with Elrond?
I've heard of it. I could do a quick analysis of it right now. I can pull it up on my phone. Right now I see a lot of green in the past around December 2020 moving up, but right now I see a little bit of a sideways action. And let me look at the profile. Well, it says it's a smart contract platform. It's proof of stake, secure POS, and can create an execution of DApps. So I think that it's a good project from what I'm reading. Has a good investment, has a white paper, a website. They're on GitHub, has a native token. So it seems to me like it's a platform trying to rival, I guess you could say, ADA, Ethereum, Solana. So yeah, I think that it's a good project. It's quite pricey, but it looks like it's on a dip compared to an all-time high. In my own opinion, I think that it's a good project.
Okay. Elijah, are you familiar with that at all? I'm not, so I'm not going to comment on it since I'm
ranked number 54. So
looking at it, it seems like a great concept. And this is me talking from the outside. It seems like a great concept. Like the distinguished man was saying, I think the price is pretty high. What they're trying to accomplish, it seems like they're trying to onboard, like it seems like a consumer business and like consumer economy that they're trying to create. It doesn't seem like we're quite there with the technology. It's a little bit of years away, but I think it's a great project, and it's in the long term going to have a huge impact if they're actually able to see it through. So
yeah, and speaking on that, I could see that they're really active. Their marketing team has I see 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 9 days ago, 10 days ago. So they're pretty active, and it seems like they're making partnerships. Yeah. So as Elijah said, if they can bring this to fruition in the future, yeah, I could see a gold mine here. No pun intended about Elrond Gold, but I could see something here.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up because it is kind of getting late. It's 11 o'clock here. Shout out to David McFallon. He says your neighbor sounds rude. Yeah, he can go fuck himself. She cannot even chill while you do your stream. Person is a badass. Yeah, I mean, that's that broke mentality that you get from people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So excuse my language, but I appreciate you guys. Elijah, I appreciate you coming on. Make sure you guys follow him. I posted his link in the chat. Elijah, I appreciate having you on. I hope you had a great time and appreciate your knowledge and wisdom. Distinguished man, you as well. And yeah, I mean, we're done.
Yeah, 100%. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. I love this conversation. Hopefully I can jump on and talk with y'all again sometime soon.
Definitely, man. Definitely have